to be your co-host this morning. And I'm sure we're going to have a great networking opportunity.
Madeleine has an infectious enthusiasm with great commitment to her vision. But today, we welcome her and we thank her for her passion and support.
Aujourd'hui, nous la recevons et nous voulons la remercier pour son soutien.
To grow women in entrepreneurship,
pour amener la croissance de l'entrepreneuriat de femmes.
Infrastructure and sustainable energy development.
Infrastructure et du développement durable et d'énergie.
Thank you, Madeleine.
Nous vous remercions, Madeleine.
And it is with equal great pleasure that I will also introduce Dr. Mrs. Olabisi, the visionary behind Gwyn. So it's my pleasure. Can we please put our hands together? Dr. Mrs. Olabisi has also worked in partnership with the IFCA at the private arm of the World Bank Group. I feel very privileged.
Je suis très privilégié
to have been invited
d'être invité
and given the opportunity
et donner cette opportunité de parler
to our gracious hosts, the South Africans.
À nos invités de l'Afrique du Sud, du pays d'accueil d'Afrique du Sud.
I want to say a special thank you for your
Je voudrais vous remercier
for your hospitality.
Pour votre hospitalité.
It's matched only by the beauty of your country.
C'est là, ça se montre par la beauté de votre pays.
I think that the best way to share as a woman today is for me to testimony and to share about our professional experience as a woman of Africa.
Yes, we can.
Oui,
as
nous pouvons.
women. Take action, whatever, but at the end it says all we need is the opportunity.
Yes. Tout est important, mais à la fin on dit tout ce que nous avons besoin c'est une opportunité.
So I'm sure for the women of Africa, now is the time.
Je suis fier pour le femmes de l'Afrique et réellement ça c'est notre temps.
It has been proven that
cela a été prouvé que
Africa now is being recognized as the economic hub of the world.
Que l'Afrique a été reconnue comme un atout économique du monde.
Gone are those days that Africa was taken as a dark continent.
Non pas comme les jours de passé où l'Afrique a été pris, le continent africain a été pris comme une zone noire.
Associated with poverty.
Associé à la pauvreté.
Associated with unemployment.
Associé au chômage.
As well as inequalities.
Et l'inégalité. La femme doit
know what she wants to do.
connaître ce qu'elle doit faire.
Without knowing what to do,
sans connaître ce qu'elle doit faire,
going around, it's wasting of time.
Aller passer par là, elle doit être assise.
Draft out what she wants.
Elle doit écrire ce qu'elle doit
and
faire.
Then what's her priority first?
Écrire les priorités premièrement.
That priority will lead her where she wants to go.
Ces priorités vont l'amener à aller où elle veut. C'est ce qu'elle doit faire. Et puis les autres choses vont suivre.
That. I mean, I think at some point I realized that I was also just scattering myself everywhere. And like I said, I'd said yes to everything. And suddenly there was no specific focus, and I really needed to sit down and get to grips with what was my focus, because until I was putting that out, the right stuff didn't come to me. So it's really, as much as an outward journey, it's also an inward journey. As to understanding what you really want out of the world.
Ça vous permet de connaître ce que vous voulez dans la vie, vos expériences.
I think the reason you're all here is to network anyway, isn't it? It's to meet new people, seize opportunities,
la raison qu'ils sont rassemblés, c'est pour
new ideas. So I think you
changer des idées,
exactly the right
des opportunités. En fait, une bonne chose.
At the end of the day, I refer to my mother as being the main driver.
Je réfère à ma mère.
I got very lucky. In the 1980s, I worked for two of the largest entrepreneurs in the UK.
J'ai travaillé pour d'autres entrepreneurs.
And I learned a lot about how to build a business.
J'ai beaucoup appris comment faire des affaires.
More importantly for me, I learned how not to do it, because these were two guys who had massive profiles. Massive personalities, which I didn't want to have. I think the key is networking with as many people as you can. And take from those relationships what you can.
For me, it's a challenge because mine is so not as clearly defined as his is. There's really no idea from one day to the next whether you
C'est du jour au jour que tu apprends comment aller.
And like I said, I'm up against really big multinational companies, and so when you're working
Je suis encore
with
très loin d'être une compagnie multimillionnaire.
large-scale kind of urban development, the competition is
Il y a la compétition.
something that I wasn't necessarily anticipating.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
Merci beaucoup.
I think that what we just had is just a little bit
Je pense que nous devons
dialogue
un peu
in terms of
le
what
dialogue.
it's like to actually start from nowhere, nothing,
En
and
commençant par
to
commencer
actually
du
just
néant
get there to that multi-millionaire
et d'être un jour millionnaire.
to that level where
À ce
it
niveau,
doesn't really matter whether you're making millions or not, as long as it's
ça ne demande pas
rewarding
là où
and
vous
you're
faites c'est
doing
de
it.
générer beaucoup de millions.
And
C'est comment vous travaillez.
the wise advice that we've been getting from you.
Merci
So thank
pour
you
les
so
conseils
much.
sages.
Thank you very, very much. I
Merci
think,
beaucoup.
yes, we can.
Merci, nous pouvons.
I'd like to say that we still need the opportunity.
Et je dis que nous avons toujours besoin
But we
d'opportunités.
are getting prepared,
Nous sommes préparés.
and Africa is really the place
L'Afrique,
where all
c'est une
emerging
place où
new developments are coming.
toutes les nouvelles initiatives de développement sont en train de ressortir, d'émerger.
Thank you.
According to the utility company,
À propos, concernant l'importance de la compagnie,
the device is supposed to help save energy during the peak time. And this ESCOM is doing in order to help cut the cost of electricity consumption on households.
Many of us as women have taken up this challenge to be the mother behind Mother Nature.
Basically what we do is to provide low-income rental accommodation. The one thing that I want to highlight on this slide
ce que je voulais épingler sur ce point,
is the issue around urban regeneration. Because we realized quite a few years ago that if you go into a difficult area, like the inner city of Johannesburg, where you've got a lot of slumlords, you have a unique opportunity not only to create accommodation that's well managed and maintained,
vous avez l'opportunité non pas seulement de créer les logements qui soutiennent,
but also to create healthy living environments in and around your buildings.
et aussi de faire comment est-ce que nous pouvons faire cela dans un environnement viable.
And build confidence between us,
Et être vraiment confident entre nous
to share ideas and advise each other,
pour partager nos idées et opinions,
to let the women of the world speak in one voice,
pour que les femmes du monde entier puissent parler d'une seule voix
and to be active participants for sustainable growth.
et d'être participantes du développement, de la croissance et du développement durable.
Skills that drive the method and techniques of production.
Les connaissances qui sont les moteurs de la production.
Competitive advantage.
L'avantage compétitif.
Entrepreneurial leadership.
Entrepreneuriat de leader.
If you want to go quickly,
si vous voulez aller plus rapidement,
you can go alone.
Tu peux aller seul.
But if you want to go far,
mais si tu veux aller plus loin,
you have to go together.
Tu as besoin d'aller ensemble avec les gens.
Government needs to look at systems whereby you make the trade investment much more easier for countries with us to trade as countries.
Poverty has a different meaning for women.
La pauvreté a beaucoup de significations parmi les femmes.
It means abuse and violence against women.
Cela veut dire l'abus et la violence contre les femmes.
It means lack of access to educational opportunities.
Cela veut dire le manque d'accès aux opportunités éducationnelles.
It means rights denied.
Cela veut dire la réjection.
It means lack of access to economic and social opportunities.
Cela veut dire le manque d'accès aux opportunités sociales et économiques.
It also means scarcity of basic resources.
We can't really talk about opportunities without including the people that can actually provide those opportunities. Otherwise, it just ends up in being another discussion about opportunities.
I said an invention. What I meant was an invention is not an innovation until it is accepted and adopted by a market.
Cela est accepté dans le marché, l'adopté au market.
And I was very, very serious when I encouraged the women or the girls and our daughters and grandchildren to become engineers. Because I think it is critical to any system, a successful system of innovation.
And if we do not start early,
si nous ne commençons pas encore très tôt,
then it might be really difficult to get them to where we want them to be.
I love the theme of this conference, which is around entrepreneurship, infrastructure, sustainable energy. We've got growing economies. We've got some of the highest rate of young people unemployment and unemployment in general. This trend is just going to continue because we're not empowering our people with the specific skills needed to be able to build our own stuff. An engineer was with you every step of the way from the time you woke up this morning. So everything from water purification to the makeup that I put onto the clothes that I'm wearing, to the road that I traveled on, to the car that I'm in, to the cell phone that I use, to the computer that I use. It's all engineering. And how do we then get our girls to think about this as a full career?
What I think about an event such as the Weised that's taken place from the 16th to the 17th of May is that it's given various women, members of Green and members of the leading women of Africa, and other private people that just came from across Africa and other parts of the world, is that it's given us a platform to network, to know each other, to know that we've got a common goal as business women to succeed, to build Africa, to build African networks, especially being led by business people in Africa, for the development of Africa and for the sustainability of Africa, and mainly focusing on the infrastructure of our continent. It is important to know that the organizations that are actually focusing on the empowerment of women and actually helping women see themselves, emancipating themselves from the so-called male-dominated industries and actually penetrating and integrating amongst themselves.
For me, from the three perspectives,
pour ces trois points de vue,
it means yes, we can.
Cela veut dire oui, nous pouvons.
In this community, with these individuals that is living in poverty, that have suffered abuse, various forms of violence, or high school dropouts, or ex-drug addicts, ex-gangsters, these community members that no one else wants to do anything with. These are the people that we're actually working with, and they've come up with various innovations to address their problems.
I represent from the grassroots. That's where I come from. I'm a farmer.
Je viens de
We're involved in screening the rural communities, advocacy, raising awareness that cancer is preventable, that cancer is treatable.
Le cancer peut être traité.
That cancer, a diagnosis of cancer is not a death sentence.
Women, to make economically grow, let them be part of development. We will have 15,000 women by the year 17 industrialists. So we have to do like this. We have to share. We shouldn't hide. Normally what we do is, if we have one project, we'll die for it until we get someone to give us money. No. Let us take it out. Share with everybody. To grow together.
Your network is it's a possibility of opportunities, it's a possibility of openings to what's next in your life. And remember, when you network, it's not always the people in the room that you're going to do business with, but it's what those people will tell 10 other people about you. I think that's an important one. And what I also think, rather go to networking breakfast and see how you can serve other people instead of looking at, dishing out your business card to as many people as possible. See how you can assist people, that's how people will remember you, and that's, and that is beneficial to everybody. So I think go with a different mindset, go with how can I serve the people that are at the networking breakfast instead of how can I get as much business out of it. Because eventually you will get business when people remind you that you served them.
There's so much opportunity in Africa. There's so many things that haven't been done, that are left to be done. we have the population, and we have people who are willing to try new things in Africa. It's still a learning process. I would encourage all of you to be on Facebook or Twitter, because what I found now with social networking is to make any business successful, you need to know who your client is and what they want.
What do women want? And you know what I said? Women want to be beautiful. And that's a fact, you know? And I'm sure every woman in here loves a compliment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm confident with it. When you dress well, you look in the mirror, you feel good, you know that you look good, the stride, the confidence, the way you carry yourself, your poise, you know, everything just comes into place and builds up. You know, so when it comes to doing business, presenting yourself properly, elegantly, you know, really attired for the occasion is key.
and leading women of Africa, we welcome you once again to this remarkable evening of Women in Entrepreneurship, Infrastructure, Sustainable Energy Development Awards ceremony.
So far, we've all been having a wonderful time. I'm sure we can all attest to that. And yesterday and even today, we've had a wonderful conference, we've had a wonderful tour, and we've learned so much. And being in Cape Town has been a wonderful eye-opener. Before I go any further, I would like to specially thank SAWEN, which stands for South African Women Entrepreneurs Network, an initiative set up by the Department of Trade and Industry South Africa for being very supportive to this initiative and for ensuring that we are able to hold this dinner awards tonight. And I would just like to ask if the SAWEN representatives, if they could please stand up so that we can honor you. Thank you.
Qui a aussi collaboré pour cette cérémonie.
We will now begin with the first round of the award ceremony. On behalf of the Global Women Inventors and Innovators Network and the Leading Women of Africa, it gives us great pleasure to announce the awardees for the very first Weised Awards 2013. While this has not been a competition, it certainly provides us with the opportunity to honour and put the spotlight on some of Africa's remarkable and incredible women who have devoted their time and expertise in the most fascinating way. These women have also contributed to society and humankind.
They are simply fascinating and amazing women.
Ce sont deux femmes très fascinantes et remarquables.
I'd like to present the first award. Mrs. Janine Mamunda from Congo. The president of Ego Beki Cancer International Foundation, Dr. Chidima Edith Uwajima from Nigeria. Nadia Maziki from South Africa. She started with 100 people. Today, she has 900,000 real beneficiaries from her different programs. Please join me in acknowledging and appreciating the incredible founder and executive director of Mary Joy Development Association, Sister Zebida Zewagri from Ethiopia. Bukola Bello Janisini from Nigeria.
Because now it's time for the fashion show.
Yeah. Ah, na, na, na. Yeah. 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 Ah, na, na, na. The way she dance, the way she move just makes me wanna take her home. The way she carry that bag, they make me want to carry this girl in the go. And I love her and I like her and I wanna take her home. So we go dance and we go jolly and we go party like 99. Oh, she made me no shandy. I want you to be my honey. I want you to be my lady. Come make me dance with the sprayers money. She be some cliff shandy. I do easy no shandy. Dance to the beat of the song my baby. Come for me love my baby. Oh yeah,
I'm I'm a fashion designer and TV presenter. I'm based in England, and it's great to be here in Cape Town, South Africa, supporting the Weised event. It's been an amazing 2 days of conference where the women have come together and the men as well, of course, who have joined in, and they've talked and debated about building infrastructure, innovation and design, and so many other things in networking and building, together a stronger force in which the women can become more powerful and more successful in what they do.
You're now checking out correctnation.com.
Hey, hey, aye, hey, hey, He get this fine lady, her body not die, you want baby, who's supposed to live like family. Hey, I know the lie, There's nothing stopping me. She dey feel my swag and I get money. I dey try my best to be somebody, cause I'm living life. This girl they make me higher. I dey feel this baby. You no go believe this girl not die. If you see this baby, then I'm saying she must chop my money, chop my money, chop my money.
so that we can deal with our problems that we have all over Africa and the world over. Because we need creators, we need innovators, and we believe that these women that are honored today, to us it's a very great honor to see such women, and we believe that let us have more of these women who think this way, so that we can see the question of infrastructure as well as innovation going throughout the continent and the world.
This is one of the most important events for women, in the sense that we have to continue to develop ourselves and develop our nation with our skills, our talent, and our knowledge. We need to share good practice and take this forward from small businesses to medium-sized businesses to large-scale businesses. And there's nothing better than getting involved in the infrastructure development of our country.
Chop my money, 'cause I don't care.
This kind of event is something that is needed in the whole world for women, not just in Africa, but it's coming to us at this time, and it's something that we embrace and we appreciate, because it's a beginning to new doors that will be opened in trade in various sectors of the economy.
Amongst us, we have had a very special woman who has devoted almost all her life to the advancement of women in her country. Born in Sokoto in Nigeria, she was appointed Nigerian Minister of Women Affairs in 2010. She was also past chairperson of the Federation of Women Lawyers, and currently she serves as a co-founder of the Women Foundation Nigeria that empowers women in politics. Please join me in welcoming Ian Josephine Anini as we present her with the Gwyn Platinum Honorary.
I want to be like all of you when I grow up. You are so wonderful women. Honestly, I've been so inspired
J'ai été beaucoup inspiré
in these past 2 days.
dans ces
I've been
jours.
working with women all my life,
J'ai travaillé avec les femmes toute ma vie.
and I've been attending lots and lots of conferences,
J'ai été à participer dans beaucoup de conférences,
seminars,
séminaires.
but the energy I saw,
L'énergie que
I felt here.
j'ai sentie ici,
In this
dans cette
conference,
conférence,
I saw women,
j'ai vu des femmes
strong women,
très fortes,
not women who are asking to be allowed,
non pas des femmes qui demandent la permission,
but women
mais des femmes
who are substance,
qui sont solides.
women who have made it. It's a wonderful idea, and it's a very welcome idea to get women together, especially women from different countries in Africa, to come and brainstorm on how to take the continent, move the continent forward. As it is now in our various countries, we as women are finding more than ever before that we need to take action, we need to stand up and take action in transforming our various countries.
We're almost coming to the end of the more formal part of tonight's program. However, we cannot close this fascinating and most memorable event without first acknowledging and giving the last say to the organizers. Dr. Bola Olabisi, founder and CEO of Gwyn, and Mrs. Magdalene Mukunu, founder and president of the Leading Women of Africa. She's the vice chair of the British Women Entrepreneurs. She's been honored by the Queen. She's taken the Gwyn message, but she doesn't really like me speaking too much, so I'm not going to say too much. But we all know that here is a woman who's powerful, who's full of faith, who's got a wonderful vision, and the vision will definitely outlive her, and she will leave a legacy.
Thank you so very much.
Merci beaucoup.
I give thanks to the Almighty God.
Merci à Dieu, le Tout-Puissant.
It's been a journey.
C'était vraiment
It has been a very, very exciting journey.
c'était vraiment un voyage extraordinaire.
I mean, I do know it has been dark, but I've always seen light at the end of the
Il y a
tunnel.
toujours des ténèbres.
I always see the glass half full and not half empty. May I start by first of all honoring and thanking Honorable Deputy Minister. I call her my Honorable Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. I feel very honored. I've made myself an honorary South African, you see. We haven't heard of gate crashes. They don't get permission, we just impose ourselves. And of course, my very big sister, because I see her as my sister right now. I want to thank some special guests. We've had some men amongst us who have taken the time to join us, to support us. I want to thank all the men in the room.
Thank you.
I want to thank Mr. Bob Pauls. He came all the way to the Nigerian people. The only man that said, you know, I'm going to be there. And I really appreciate what you've done so far. Our special guests, each and every one of you are special guests.
Vous tous, vous êtes nos invités spéciaux.
But I can't go any further without thanking Samuel.
Je ne peux pas aller plus loin pour ne pas remercier Samuel.
An initiative of the Department of Trade and Industry. You probably didn't know when you were the first one to say, we'll send some women, we will encourage the women. We didn't want you to know how sad it was looking, but we knew that once we tell you this is what we're about to do, we will always get your support because you've always been very supportive. So thank you very much. We still need you. Please continue to support us and let's continue on our Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege. Absolute privilege. Having these 2 days with you, I feel very honored. Each and every one of you, those that have received awards, I say congratulations. Very well deserved. I appreciate what you're doing within your community and society. And we continue to pray for you and encourage you as we continue to build Africa. Most of you may not know what we're about. Of course, Global Women Inventors and Innovators Network. So a lot of people just say quick. But our focus really is on inventive and innovative women. Those exceptionally creative minds. Those that will come and think out of the box, that will do things differently. That will see things that can immediately say, you know what, I can see something in this, even when other people can't. And that is very difficult. The road and the journey can be full of a lot of pitfalls. And we need women to support each other to get those ideas. We have to understand intellectual. Every opportunity that I have, I say to us Africans, let's protect our valuable ideas. That's what's going to get us forward, push us forward, so that the world respects our ideas. I want to thank you once again. I want to thank those who have supported us, our supporting organizations. Thank you so much. We had a great time. Don't give up on us yet because we're still going to use your great time to get to the airport, to really go around Cape Town. Emerging Stars, thank you for promoting what we're doing. We know that have I missed anybody? This is what happens when you start to call names. Sometimes find your listeners and people out. Whoever you are, I want to say thank you very much. All that you've done. They've really worked very hard to make this work. In fact, people say that it has taken $1 billion to do this. I think no one will lie. But we know the truth and we're not going to tell you how it is. But like you said, we've got a lot of support. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Women in Entrepreneurship, Infrastructure and Sustainable Energy Development Conference was actually meant to be. It's actually something that is overdue. It should have happened because the reconstruction of Africa need women. And women, there's an awakening of women that want to play a major role in development of Africa. So this conference has actually happened just in a time where Africa need women.
Among her extensive achievements, Madeleine was the winner of International Alliance of Women Awards 100 in 2011 in Washington, USA.
Cette femme, elle avait pris le prix elle avait reçu le prix de l'Alliance pour les femmes en 2011 à Washington, aux États-Unis.
She was the recipient of the Gwent Discretionary Awards in Nigeria in 2010.
Elle a aussi été parmi les femmes nominées au Nigeria.
Madeleine is the founder of one of the most powerful women economic empowerment platforms on the African continent, which promotes women's economic development in the African continent.
Cette femme est aussi fondatrice d'une très puissante organisation qui occupe les femmes africaines, les continents africains, en travaillant à l'épanouissement des femmes et le développement dans le continent africain.
After 13 years in the financial administration field with various South African companies such as Sun International South Africa, Shell Global and Western Province Cricket Club, Madeleine decided to embrace gender and women's affairs with a specific focus on women leadership and women's economic empowerment in Africa.
Après plusieurs années, 13 sud-africaine, Madeleine avait pris l'initiative maintenant de travailler pour l'égalité des femmes, pour promouvoir le leadership des femmes et les équiper aussi en Afrique.
She's an international independent business consultant with clients such as African Development Bank, South African Parliament and other corporate companies across Africa.
Elle est aussi une consultante indépendante en matière des affaires. Elle a des clients. Parmi ses clients ou ses partenaires dans les affaires, elle a le Parlement sud-africain, elle a beaucoup de compagnies sud-africaines et aussi des banques de développement d'Afrique.
Madeleine's passion is seeing women contribute in rebuilding the continent through access in the mainstream economy. It is an honor to hand over to Ms. Madeleine Makulu.
Sa passion, c'est de reconstruire d'encourager le camp. Nous avons l'honneur de remettre l'opportunité à Madeleine de donner les mots de circonstance.
Wow, this was a bit mouthful.
Ça a été vraiment brillant.
But thank you.
Merci.
I think, to be honest, I wouldn't be in this place if it was not for the Almighty God.
Je ne pouvais pas être dans cette place si ce n'était pas pour Dieu. Il y a la force.
I want to acknowledge as well the presence of the Chair of Board of Directors of Leading Women of Africa, Mrs. Jacqueline Tangri, who could not be with us for the past 2 days, but tonight she has joined us. And it is my honor to have our Board of Directors amongst us. Thank you, Jacqueline, for joining. It wouldn't be fair if I cannot say thank you to our international visitors, to our international delegates. And the first team that I would like to say sincerely thanks is to the delegation from DRC, led by the President of Leading Women of Africa, Jocelyn Kongolo. Thank you so much for believing in this vision and for keeping the flag of Leading Women of Africa in DRC.
Merci de tenir la flamme des femmes leaders au Congo.
I would like to thank Sawe. Since 2008, as it was said in my bio, after 13 years,
of working in a corporate. In 2008, I felt like I'm being called to a different vision and moving from accounting to women affairs to something new. And with the support of Sawen and TTI, this vision has seen life in 2008. And ever since, Sawen has been supporting LWA in maybe a small way, but meaningful way to us. Since we are not funded, there's nothing, but with just to have that encouragement from Sawen and TTI, it has been basically supporting us throughout the way. Thank you so much, sisters.
Parce que j'ai travaillé, j'avais une vision et ça a beaucoup contribué que ma vision puisse venir au jour.
Last but not least, my partner in crime,
Je veux aussi
Dr. Paula Olabisi.
remercier le docteur.
It was such an honor to really work with you.
C'était vraiment un honneur de travailler avec vous.
Really, I've never seen such a passionate woman
J'ai jamais vu une femme très passionnante comme vous.
about me. It does not matter how it looks. We went through dark days
Nous sommes partis sur
where we
le
did
jour
not
noir.
see any light at the end of
Nous ne pouvons
tunnel
pas voir une lumière
with this event.
pour cet événement.
But she kept telling
Mais
me,
elle me disait toujours,
we can make it,
nous
man.
pouvons le faire, Madeleine.
I think that kept me
Je crois que cela m'a
alive
et m'a donné
and
la vie.
believing
Et je crois
that despite the challenges,
que malgré les difficultés,
we can have a breakthrough.
nous avons eu une percée.
That made me believe as well
C'est pour cela peut
that
me
there is power
il y a une puissance
when women
lorsque les femmes
believe in something together.
croient en quelque chose ensemble.
They have power to change the world.
Ils ont le pouvoir de changer le
And
monde.
that is my message this
Et
evening.
c'est mon message ce soir.
The Deputy Minister said this is the time for us to work in unity
La vice-ministre a dit que c'est le temps pour nous de travailler en unité.
because there is power.
Puisqu'il y a la puissance,
There is power
il y a la
in unity.
puissance, la unité.
Again, I would like to thank
Je voudrais aussi
everyone for believing in the vision of Weised.
en croyant en la vision de Weised.
As we truly believe that it's time women step into the
Comme
space
nous
of
croyons que les femmes
infrastructure development,
doivent se mettre dans la direction de
sustainable
développement,
energy,
d'énergie durable
and all the projects that Africa has to offer.
et tout le projet que l'Afrique a apporté.
And one message that I've been preaching the past 2 years
Et un message que je suis en train de passer
is a lot of women in infrastructure development in Africa,
beaucoup de femmes dans l'infrastructure en Afrique,
where we have to believe
où nous devons croire
that as we are fighting toward the economic empowerment of
nous sommes en train
women,
de combattre pour le croissement
as
économique.
Africa is rewriting a new story,
Pour l'Afrique est en train d'écrire une nouvelle histoire.
women need to be part of this.
Les femmes doivent participer à cela.
And women
Et les femmes
can change the
peuvent
face
changer
of Africa.
la place de l'Afrique, l'image de l'Afrique. Merci.